Well, it's January the 18th, and I want to talk to you today about the price of greatness. You know, it was one of the darkest hours in world history. The Nazis had occupied the vast majority of the European continent. France had been conquered, and so had Belgium and Poland and Czechoslovakia and virtually every other nation on the continent. Refugees had fled to the British Isles, where they stood in weak opposition to Germany's continued expansion. As German bombs began to rain down on the British people, and as the Battle of Britain began, one lone figure stood between Hitler and his total control of the continent. That man, one of my favorite, Winston Churchill. He was not particularly impressive gentleman if you looked at him. I mean, before becoming prime minister, his leadership credentials had been less than stellar. He had been a war correspondent, a politician, once departing government altogether after the disastrous failure of one of his key programs. But Churchill had something that few people in the world can claim. He had greatness. I believe you have greatness in you as well. Churchill refused to surrender or to compromise in the face of nearly insurmountable odds. You know, you can win a lot of times if you just don't give up. He refused to be intimidated by what appeared to be an undefeatable foe. He was somehow able to inspire the British people to stand alone in order to do the impossible and to endure the unthinkable. And he was able to maintain a national spirit of hope throughout the darkest hours of the 20th century. With great finesse and political astuteness, Churchill united the remaining free nations of the world and enlisted their help in a battle he could not have won without him. Without them, he had managed to maintain the support of the British electorate during times when their economy, their infrastructure, and their way of life teetered on the brink of extinction. I love what Churchill famously said: responsibility is the price of greatness. And even though few of us will ever face the challenges that he had to face, all of us can assume that same attitude. There's nothing that you can't do when you rise to the occasion by welcoming the responsibility that life thrusts upon you. It's time to take responsibility. Greatness is in you, and I want to see it come out of you. And that's why I'm investing this entire year, every day, talking about traits of greatness. This month, we're talking about the trait of responsibility, and I hope you've already got the ebook. If you haven't, it's available on the website, davemartin.org. Grab that copy, read the entire, it won't take you long. It's just a small ebook. It's $3. But I promise you, cheaper than a cup of coffee, but it'll take you a lot further than caffeine will. Hey, grab your copy of Responsibility. And thank you for watching and supporting The Daily with Dr. Dave.